Hi, welcome to Reach Out, brought to you by the Aid Foundation. I'm Ron Paolino, your host, and it's really nice to have you viewing with us again today. Boy, a lot of things going on here at the Aid Foundation. We've got a wonderful guest here today that I'll be talking about pretty soon and bringing her on. I know you're going to enjoy her. Lots of things going on. If you watch the show with our charity gardens, it's just, no pun intended, but it's growing and growing, especially the enthusiasm and the interest about charity gardens. Right now, one of our newest volunteers, Anishka, is getting ready to take over at different operations here at the studio. She's going to be doing things with us. You might know Anishka from a previous show. As a matter of fact, if you're watching us on TV as I'm taping, there's something showing you'll see tomorrow night featuring Anishka as our newest volunteer. Lots of things going on. I hope you guys had a good 4th of July, by the way. The 4th of July was really interesting around our house. Lots of beer, lots of hot dogs, lots of heat, lots of mosquitoes, and lots of fireworks. Not necessarily in that order, but just lots of. I hope you guys had a great 4th and a good time. I got to tell you, though, this Aid Foundation has got us all really busy. We're getting ready to do something that we've never done before. We're going to be doing a telethon. We're going to be on the phone. Maybe we'll be calling you. I hope that you'll respond favorably because, as you know, as if you watch the show, I take it personally, but we at the Aid Foundation really need your help. There's lots of things that we do. You're going to be, when I bring out the young lady that I have with us today, we're going to be talking about similar things. All of us that are in volunteer organizations, these nonprofit organizations, need help. We need support from many groups, all different things all around the board, but mostly right now what the Aid Foundation needs more than anything, and as ridiculous as this sounds, I'm going to tell you, we need money. We need help, financial aid. Why we need this money is because we've got people that we'd like to feed with our charity gardens. We've got to get that going. We've got greenhouses that we're getting ready to put into place. We've got land that's been donated by different municipalities here in the state, or they're in the process of being donated, as it were. But the bottom line is we've got all these things lined up, but seeds and other things cost money. And so we really, really need your help. I tell you this all the time, and I have to say this again. We don't get paid. This is a volunteer organization. So I'm not asking you for money so that I can buy a new tie or a new suit and look presentable on the show here, and I hope I do. But that's not the issue. The issue is that we need your help, like many organizations do, so that we're able to feed the homeless or the indigent, the working poor, as it were. To help children, battered wives, battered moms and wives that are out there, or they're just plain abandoned. We need so much help with so many things. And money, unfortunately, and even in these economic times when it's difficult, money is an important issue even to us. We're looking for funds, to get funds from you so that we can help other people. But because of you is the only reason we'll be able to do it. We definitely need your help. So if it sounds like that I'm really on the soapbox today, maybe I am, but I'm on for a good cause. I'm on to help you, help me, help others, if that makes any sense. In other words, we all know that bad things happen to real, nice, fine, good people, and all we're trying to do is help. Don't you want to join us in that effort? If you do, please contact us at www.aidefoundation.org. We'd love to hear from you. Stop by the studio, give us a call, drop us a line or an email, whatever it takes, however you want to contact us. But soon we're going to be contacting you by phone. And when one of our volunteers, whether it's me, because I'll be on the phone, excuse me, pardon me, if it's me or one of our volunteers, please remember the name Aid Foundation, reach out, that we'll be reaching out and asking you to reach back as always. But we've got a great show planned for you today, so I'll get off that subject now. We've got some good things going on. A lady here that's from URI and from another organization that I'm going to keep, like I always do. I'm going to tell you about it, just trying to whet you a little bit, whet your appetite a little bit for the lady that's coming on. I know you're going to love her. So your 4th of July, again, going back to 4th of July, boy, what a time. We watched fireworks in one of our cousins' backyards down in Coventry, Rhode Island, and he has a lake. He lives on the water. Well, I think they raise mosquitoes for a living. It was amazing. I had something land on me the size of a sparrow. I didn't know it till I slapped it. This thing just splattered everywhere. It was disgusting. I shouldn't even be telling you about it. But the bottom line is I had off on me. We had everything, and it still was crazy. But what a good time. I hope that you had anywhere near the time that we had for 4th of July. We had a bunch of friends and relatives all together, and it was just the hot dogs and hamburgers were everywhere, and the kids were having a ball with fireworks. Of course, all adults supervised. We didn't have any kids doing anything that where they could have been harmed. And it was just all in all a great time, and I hope you had one too. And again, here at the Aid Foundation, with charity gardens, with cool schools, with many of the other things we got going on, we really, really need your participation. We need your help. So get in touch with us, okay? I'm going to be right back with that promised guest. Stay there. Welcome back to Reach Out. I'm Ron Paolino, your host. Hope you enjoyed our little public service announcement we had for you. I am pleased and honored to introduce to you our guest today, finally, from Operation Military Kids, or OMK, as you'll hear us say, the program coordinator, Mrs. Pamela Martin. Hi, Pam. Welcome to Reach Out.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Pam, just to get started, what can you tell us about Operation Military Kids, how it started, where it originated, and how Rhode Island got involved?
Well, Operation Military Kids is a national program. It started at Department of the Army Child, Youth, and School Services because when this current conflict our nation's engaged in started, they realized that kids whose parents serve out of the Guard and Reserve don't live on big military bases, so they may not be getting the services to cope with deployment that they need. So they partnered with the Department of Agriculture, Cooperative Extension Services, and the youth development program of the Cooperative Extension is the 4-H Club. And they realized very quickly that the 4-H clubs nationwide have locations and facilities and programs for kids, even in the most remote parts of the country. So they decided to partner, National 4-H and Department of the Army, and they funneled the money down through the University Cooperative Extension Services, and Rhode Island got the grant in 2008. I was hired in April of 2009, and we've been going ever since, but it is national.
Well, I've heard lots of good things about, well, I say I've heard, my research has developed, that showed me a lot of good things that's happened to this program since you came on board as the program coordinator. One of the things you just said, though, that I wasn't aware of, even through my research, it seems to me, from what you said anyway, that the National Guard, or the Guards, that's where the emphasis is for OMK, because is it that the full-time military personnel have this already in place, have this things for children?
Right, right. Across all services, the active duty installation have family programs, outreach programs, readiness groups, all manner of support programs, and also in the public mind, people are more attuned to the active duty model of service. They understand it because they see it on TV, they see it in the movies, and it's the traditional configuration that people remember. It became evident, though, that there were not enough programs for kids who were what we call geographically isolated, kids who live away from an installation. When my husband was on active duty, I could go through my town and tell what units were deployed based on what parking lots were full in town and what housing areas were full. I
got to let my viewers know, Pam is not just talking like she doesn't know what she's talking about. Pam has also been a military officer, isn't that correct?
I was, and a longtime military spouse. My husband's now retired, but he's still serving. He works for ROTC at URI.
And you're a URI graduate, is that correct?
My undergrad was through PC, right here in Rhode Island. I'm a Rhode Island native. And my master's is through URI. And so I'm employed at URI now, so it all full circle.
That's a good thing. Got to keep it all together. Also, I wanted to make sure that we mentioned that you have two young boys. I guess it is two children.
I have 3 children total. I have a boy and a girl at URI.
At URI.
My own Rams, and I have my youngest one, the baby, is going to be a senior at South Kingston High School.
The baby will be a senior. The baby. So Pam, you can't judge a book by its cover. Pam's got married at 11, and the rest, I guess, is history, as they say. Yeah. So. This is really something. We'll hear us refer to it today, I hope, as OMK, which is the anagram what they always use for
Operation
Military Kids. But this is the Rhode Island chapter that we're going to talk about mostly.
Right.
And we want to help the public to understand exactly what this is and what it does. You were telling me off camera, we had a conversation before we came on the air, that Rhode Island is number 2 for deployment in the country?
Right. Rhode Island has the second highest per capita deployment rate of any state in the nation. And, that's probably because we have a lot of combat service support units. So for every service member that's deployed, they need several more service members exponentially to support that service member in his deployment.
I've heard it said, and I'm sure we all have, and I don't say this in a bad way, weekend warriors, referring to Guard. We got to stop saying that.
That's gone. That's over.
These people are out there being deployed to active duty. They're in the National Guard. They're there to serve, and boy, are they serving. You may remember, the viewers that do watch the show on a regular basis, I had my nephew, Anthony Paolino, on from the Air National Guard just several episodes ago, who does things at CCRI, trying to make sure that we help educate and provide, make educational opportunities available, to people coming back from deployment. So anyway, that in my mind sort of coincides. It's not the same thing because your program's for kids, but still helping our people that are deployed here from the state of Rhode Island is something that I think we all can agree is a wonderful thing to
yes.
do. So Pam, you were hired in March of 2009. You have a master's degree in education that you got here at I guess was that PC or was that URI?
That was at URI.
That was at URI. Yeah. And so this whole program originated as a national program. I think you said in 2005 it came thereabouts.
Right.
It started in Rhode Island. And what has transpired since you came on board? In other words, you were made program director, I guess, in 2009?
Right. It's a grant process. The grants come down from Department of the Army through the National Department of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service to all the state land-grant universities who have cooperative extensions. And in Rhode Island, we're hosted at the University of Rhode Island's College of the Environment and Life Sciences Cooperative Extension, and the youth development program of the Cooperative Extension is the 4-H Club. So technically I work for the 4-H Club under this grant, and they applied for it in December of 2008, and once they got the money in the bank, they were able to hire someone, and that took until April of 2009, and we've been going great guns ever since. It's my sole duty.
I thought I was a relatively well-read, intelligent guy, but until speaking to you and doing the research prior to you coming on the air, having you on the show, I thought the 4-H Club grew things and had little
pigs
horses.
and chickens.
Yeah, pigs and exactly.
And they do.
And I don't mean, and I don't mean to minimize that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I thought that was their limit or their extent. After speaking to you, I realized it's a much bigger organization than I ever had.
It is. It's even bigger than most Rhode Islanders know because we don't participate in the county system. But if you go out to the big Midwestern states, their programs, I mean, they rival their athletic programs. They're huge. Amazing. And they do exhibit at the fairs, show your cow, your goat, your chicken. Yeah. But also they have any other kind of topic a child would want to participate. And we figure 4-H could be something that a military child can do wherever the military takes them because it is a national program. It's the largest youth development program in the country. So.
That's pretty incredible. What about trade shows? We would also discuss your involvement in trade shows.
As far as trade shows go, I had found it necessary when I first came on board to get out into the community and bang the drum and repeat the message that there are 5,000 military kids in the state of Rhode Island. 5,000.
And that's National Guard again. This is mostly Guard.
Not just,
but predominantly, I would think, from our conversation.
I would say in Rhode Island, yes. Predominantly Guard and Reserve. Predominantly Air and Army and National Guard. But we also have the Naval Station Newport where there's about 900 kids, and those kids don't all live on the installation. They live out in the school systems on the island. And if you go out into the community, it is statistically probable that in every team, club, or classroom, there's going to be a military child. And not just Guard and Reserve. We have representation from every branch, Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and every component, meaning active, reserve, or guard. So you're not looking at a localized population. They're spread out over Rhode Island like a blanket, and a lot of people are unaware of that. So the trade shows were an effort to try to get people to know. So I would go wherever people gathered to let them know about military kids.
One of the things that I liked that you told me about earlier was about hero packs. I thought that was a pretty ingenious and pretty interesting thing. I'm just saying it that way so that you can extrapolate and tell our viewers just what a hero pack is, how it works, and what it's all about.
Well, a hero pack is a backpack. The backpacks are provided to me from Department of the Army level. They come to me empty, though, and it's up to me to beg, borrow, and steal what goes in them. So that's where we rely on the community. But the hero pack is a small survival kit and a tangible item of support to the child whose parent is deploying. And unfortunately, in my role, I've seen kids who are getting their second, third, or fourth consecutive hero pack because their parent has deployed that